Oh dear. Who in the hell's idea was this? This is complete ludicrous. But I tell you what, that boy's smarter than 2 German shepherds doing a drug bust.
Operation. We have just touched down.
Turn this motherfucker on.
All the big girls say
Oh yeah.
Big dog.
Ooh, this a damn podcast. Boy, if you are done playing, can we please start the show? Well, at least let me shout out.
Shooter on the beat.
let's talk about it.
Doing, making the whole scene the same. Big dog, about to bring the motherfucking pain. Lock it in, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in, lock it in.
Alright, man, y'all know what it is, man. We are back.
The fucking building again!
With
Another one.
So you already know what's going on, man. After further deliberation on the topic at hand, we have once more came up with reasoning to what I feel is a very conflictive question, due to the fact that it has to deal with communication, and I'm big on that. If I ain't big on anything else, I'm fucking huge on communication. So the lack thereof, or the overbearingness of too much, is very important. Like I said, you have to find your median, there. So before we get into it, as usual, let's just do a quick little topic review to make sure everybody's up to speed. So, this is the premise of this question. Does it damage a relationship more when a person can't communicate how they feel, or you know how they feel and they act out aggressively? Doesn't necessarily mean that don't mean that they just out here breaking everything and putting their hands on everybody. That just means that some people are more aggressive in the way they act out their emotions, as in, yelling, screaming, you know what I mean? All the antics that make you just wanna. So, would you prefer a person who can't communicate properly, or deal with somebody who can communicate but expresses it aggressively?
Let's talk about it.
Okay. I think everybody's pretty familiar with what the stature of the question is and the foundation of what it means to have or have not. You know what I mean? So, as usual, we're gonna start with what I received, and we'll deliberate about that. Then, we're gonna get into
That gangster shit.
You can wait on this one because I'm gonna be brass and on your ass.
Okay.
So, moving along, people who feel like Okay, no, I'm not gonna do it this time. I'm not gonna do it this time. People feel like this is the people who feel like they choose people who may be like they shut down or they don't really know how to communicate. One, they feel like a person who can't communicate could have some type of trauma earlier in life that makes them shut down mid-conflict argument, whenever it gets overbearing for them. Because they don't know how far they might take it. And due to the fact that they might not be a conflictive person as it is, that's their defense mechanism for shutting all their emotions off. Get what I'm saying? So, meaning, if this person's not reacting, how is this person going to display emotion? Even if it's something that's meaningful to them. You know what I mean? So, that's the premise of the first one. I liked it. I dug it. I mean, I don't know what y'all feel, but I understood that completely. I mean, I know people like that in real time. So, I can't argue with that. I physically seen people who are like that. Two, some people feel like they'd rather deal with somebody who can't do, shuts down or isn't up to par with their communication skills or can't. They feel like this is something that a person can be trained to have. Like communication skills, which is very valid. I mean, I don't care who you are or what language you speak, what you do. Training someone to communicate is something that is a necessity in life. So if somebody hasn't been properly trained to communicate, that's something that someone feels like if they display patience with that person, they can perhaps start breaking down certain barriers and getting that person to understand that it's okay if they haven't been properly taught how to, but now they have somebody who's willing to work with them. Again, very, very valid.
Okay.
Very valid. So, which leads me to three. Three is more so, it's a simpler approach to me. I only try to give y'all three. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to oversaturate y'all with like, you know what I mean? Just a abundant amount of this and that. I just try to give y'all three main ones so I can get into this. So, three is more so like a person who shuts down, right? Is more so a person who is, like I said, man, wording is everything. Wording is everything, G. And like, the way it was, presented to me, I try to give back to y'all in a way that everybody understands. Not just a couple, but everybody. So, three is more so like, this person is whatever age, correct? I mean, communication doesn't have an age. You know what I mean? Like, age and communication are just something that you possess or you don't. You know what I mean? Like, far as communication at a certain age. Some people feel like if a person can't communicate in a relationship, I was just giving y'all in general. Them last two was in general because when I made this, it was like, it doesn't necessarily have, like, a relationship is a relationship with anybody. Communication is something that you have to deal with when it comes to anybody. So it's just not as man and woman, it's a person in society. Let's make that very clear. Maybe I didn't specify that.
Nope.
But communication, when I said it in that form, when I said relationship, it could be family, friends, associates, just people you have to interact with. But this is a relationship question. Like, this is a relationship statement. Because I know that's more so what I think a lot of people lean into. So I'm going to give it to you. It's okay. It's okay. Sit me down. I got you. This person felt like, if a person can't communicate in a relationship, they have dealt with somebody who may be the other side of this topic. So, for instance, throwing me under the bus because I like to do that because I'm not biased. I'm a very passionate speaker. If you know me, G, I mean like really
Know me.
you know I'm a very passionate speaker. And once I state my opinion, oh, I mean it. Oh, it's out there. Now, one thing I often tell people, I don't regret what I said. I regret the tone I may tell you in sometimes. Completely different. I said what I said, but I probably could have used a better tone. Something I'm working on as a human in today's modern society.
Truth over facts.
So, I've personally dealt with people in my past that if I may get a little more, you know what I mean? Get a little bit more.
Sometimes it may be good,
You know,
sometimes it may be shit.
more crazy with my tone, they don't know how to reciprocate that because they might not have came from a background. I came from a background where people speak their mind. We don't do all that. He said, she said. No, we see each other. We own each other. And I appreciate y'all for that because that's how it's supposed. That's what makes somebody a strong communicator in the real world. Knowing how to deal with the people that love you the most, because those are the same people who can hurt you the most. So if somebody who loves you is being direct with you and you're accustomed to that, you start to take on the form of that directness with people.
Message.
Not to hurt nobody, it's not to take nobody on it, it's just to let people know how you feel. Get that thing off you. Things off me, weights off. I can go live my life. Blessings to you. So, when you're dealing with somebody in a relationship and they don't know how to communicate, this is more so what you get. Somebody who just sits there more so because they don't know how to use the tone of their voice to equal at the capacity that you're using yours, they feel. So they just rather not say too much and be like the famous line, you got it.
Reverse.
You got it.
Reverse.
We tell some.
Okay. You gonna let me go on a tangent and just do this just to say that. Now I'm crazy. I see what you're out here doing. Completely hitting us there.
Yo, this guy has no chill, man.
That's pretty much how the third one's going. The third one is like relationship form. Somebody doesn't know how to deal with that level of aggression, slight directness. Because I'm not gonna say it's like overbearing. When it's in a relationship and somebody's like the direct person in the relationship, I can never look at that as like something that's aggressive because that's somebody who's stating how they feel at the moment they feel it. Get that thing off them. Weights off me.
You stupid.
So, those are my three for the people who shut down and they'd rather work with those people. The fun part, I like this one. This is the part I like because I know my loud ass. I'm gonna learn something today. Hello. Taking notes.
Facts.
So, number one, for people who'd rather deal with somebody who communicates aggressively and or like, you know what I mean, very overbearing kind of, but it's all direct. So, you know, in the real world, baby, if it ain't directed, it ain't respected. Yeah. One, some people feel like they'd rather deal with somebody who is a little bit more overbearing because it's the obvious statement. They know exactly how that person feels. I mean, there ain't really no reason to go into that like explanation for that. They know exactly how that person feels. So, having said that, I mean, somebody's blatantly telling you, regardless of what pitch and tone they're using, they telling you how they feel. I respect that. Tell me how you feel, so I can reciprocate that thing. Yeah? A lot of people don't know how to accept somebody's emotions, and then some shit go wrong, and they be like, oh man, you should have told me. Well, they were trying. That's how they communicate. Huh. Two is more so they'd rather deal with somebody who's slightly an aggressive communicator because it lets them know they care.
Oh shit!
About the topic, the situation, and or the relationship. Now, I throw myself in that. Because I don't even come out, I don't even do all that. Yeah. I don't even do all that.
Oh man.
Unless it's something I'm passionate about, you feel me? If I'm passionate about that thing,
Champ, it has got to stop. It has got to stop.
Boy, I'ma show my ass.
yeah. Because if I go out my way to raise the tone of my voice with you over something, it's something that, hey, you need to know right now is real. Fact. You know, I need to get that thing off me. So I relate with that. I'm not going to go into detail because now I'm taking away from that. I'm going to give y'all.
Okay.
That was 2. 3! 3 is simple. And 3 walks a tight median of understanding somebody's background and understanding that it could be other reasons outside of them start here. 3. Some people don't know they communicate like that, believe it or not.
You lie.
Yes. Some people are completely oblivious that they communicate aggressively.
Oh shit!
So, if somebody was to choose to deal with somebody who, you know what I mean, dealt with these people, and again, when I say deal with somebody, that's a relationship in general. Like, if you got a homie or homegirl and like this applies, like it's just not a man and a woman thing. This is in society. Keep this in mind. Because if a person cannot communicate, again, coming back to the premises of the main thing, it's no way in the hell it's going to be a healthy relationship for the person that can. So when I'm saying this, I'm going to identify when it's in a certain situation. But until I identify that, I'm speaking in general. I am speaking in general. You get what I'm saying? Because again, communication is a multi-purpose thing you have to do with different people, different cultures, at every time of the day that you have to be around somebody in society, like I said prior. So if you're getting confused on what I'm saying, just know I'm telling you right now, unless I identify like in a relationship or with a friend or with a parent or with a family member, these are things that I'm saying in general until I identify it personally, like just title it. Okay. So again, but this time I'm gonna give you a mixture of in general for the third one and in a relationship, because I know I'm trying to tie the third ones in together. You see what I'm doing? There's the third one on the last one, the third one here. They were both semi-relationship, Xing out the madness. So, just know this. Some people don't know they communicate like that, right? And they get out here and they conduct themselves and don't understand why people aren't perceiving them a certain way and feel like everybody has an attitude with them. Now I'm speaking in general. This is in general. I'm going to get to the relationship part. This is a 50-50. Arnold Palmer. So, they get out here in society and don't understand that they talking
Reckless to people.
ludicrous. That's them talking out their neck right now. To you! Come on, champ. I know you ain't gonna take that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Me?
Not me.
Boy, here nor there. Here nor there. Because these are people who, when you check them, they don't understand why. To them, they were just speaking. They were just talking. They were just stating how they feel. But they're not really taking into consideration that their tone is off, their demeanor is off, their body language is off, and more so, their words is off with you. Till you hear me. Huh? You can talk to everybody else, just don't talk to me the way you talking to them.
That's what the hell I'm
Shout
talking
out to my
about.
Uncle Jim. Gutter. I see how you handled a couple situations like that in your day. Shout out to that guy. So, just know that's that when it comes to, in general, relationship. When a person does not know that they speak a certain way that makes them seem more aggressive. Like, look, man, you'd be surprised who become passionate speakers when they're angry. And that's one of my pet peeves, G. I hate when people have to get upset. So if you come and you speak like direct and all that, I accept that as your character. But when you just explode when you get angry, that pisses me off with people. Because I feel like you let this whole, you hoard all these emotions and then you let them out at one time and then it's just, you don't know what to do with them. You get what I'm saying? In a relationship form, that's what happens. In relationship form, that's exactly what happens. You got people who hoard certain emotions so long because they try to give people the benefit of the doubt and they try to make themselves believe that, listen, if I get out of character and conduct, it's not going to go nowhere. Instead of them just speaking their mind the way they want to speak their mind, but then it goes too far. It goes too damn far and then they just pew off the fucking end. It gets crazy. In a relationship, you say things, you do things, and now you're in this dark place. So, if you're a person who can accept being in a relationship with that type of person, that's only because you came from a situation or crazy with my mouth back there. Apologies. And or where you can comprehend the mindset of somebody who doesn't know that they're being this over-aggressive speaker unintentionally, especially when they're mad in a relationship. You know what I mean? Because you can give somebody ample opportunity to speak and then not say a damn thing. Trust me. I know. So,
Get your man. I know what time it is.
okay, man. Look, we ain't even gonna make an all day event out of this. You understand me? We gonna go ahead and get right to it because that's the only way to do it. So I'm gonna put this thing together and make it congruent. Understand me? So, this is how the big dog himself feels when it comes to these two. Okay, I'm gonna start with the person who can't communicate because I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. Hate it. Pet peeve. Get out my face. Do not waste my time. Tell you why. I'm gonna get right into it. A person who cannot communicate, especially after being asked why they can't communicate, is a person who is a runner to me. I don't care what. Say what you want, G. A person who can't communicate, especially by a certain age, and doesn't care to what you're a runner. You're not living in this real world. You're on some fantasy shit, and you sure as hell are an excuse maker.
Wow.
Just keeping it hot. That's exactly how I feel, and that's not going to change. Tell me I'm lying. You've dealt with somebody and or who just can't communicate, but when they get a chance to communicate and it gets too hot for them, shut down, out of something their victim, don't know how to deal with. Like they just want to evade wherever the hell you are. And guess what I am? Pac-Man.
I'm on your ass.
I'm on your ass. Oh yeah, I'm chasing blue ghosts on your ass. You hear me? It's lunchtime and I need that. So, this is the secondary. Secondary, because I'm gonna bounce back and forth between these motherfuckers. Because I was so excited to do this one. Like, communication? Come on, man.
Look, Pisces, you know we passionate. And you know we mean what we say when we say what we mean. Stop playing with us.
So, a person who's aggressive. Because I'm going to just kick it how I want to kick it now. Because it's now about
The meat man. Holy shit.
A person who is an aggressive speaker. In general, let's start there. We're going to get to the relationship shit in a couple ticks. But let's just, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm going to ping pong this shit. I'm back and forth. So, a person who is aggressive in general. Been around a lot of people who just, like, I take people for what they are. First and foremost, I take people for what they are when they show me that from the first impression on back, that's who they are. Rewind what the hell I just said.
I take people for what they are when they show me that from the first impression on back, that's who they are.
Okay. Now, if a person is already like this when you meet them, you know they loud, you know they direct, you know they to the point, they speak their mind, they this and that. You accept that person for being that person. You hear me? That's who they are. That's who they are. I dig it. I know if something's gonna be said, you gonna bring it to me or the person around you or whomever. I respect that. I'm not one of these people who can't deal with communication. I'm the type, I don't care if you think it's gonna lead to a conflict. If you tell me directly, I promise you I'll process it directly at that very moment, a whole nother way than I would if I had to hear it back from somebody. Because once I know that it came from you, oh, I know where we at. And I know, okay, well, hell, if you feel comfortable to talk to me like that, well, shit, you know, we good now. Just know you gonna hear my damn mouth as well. So,
I don't give a shit.
I respect that. Somebody who aggressively speaks, but they're direct. I grew up being that person. You hear me? I grew up being that person. Never traded on that concept of being direct, and I won't. You understand me? So, dealing with an aggressive person in a relationship that doesn't know they are great. Like, it doesn't even matter at this point. It's just somebody who, you know, expresses I've dealt with somebody in my past who was like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, dealt with a couple people actually. In relationship form, it's different though. It's real different. Because in relationship form, Jay ain't gonna hold you, you know what I mean? I'm mellow, hello, you feel me? Like,
I don't even really like to do all that.
You feel me? I don't even like to do all that. I really am a mellow person in a relationship, G, unless I'm pushed to a boundary and I got to go out my way, say certain shit, and it becomes a situation. But dealing with somebody who is listen, man, it's sexy at first. Okay, listen, because I'm a different breed. Directness and truth and telling me how you feel, oh, that's sexy to me. Listen, it's nothing sexier than somebody telling you the truth. Hey, listen, when you get a little older and you get a little of them chips off your shoulders, you'll understand what I mean. When somebody is telling you the truth, and it don't even matter how it come out at that point. You just, as long as you know this is what they feel, you know how to deal with that person accordingly. You feel me? So, when a person tells me how they feel, I have the option to oblige or disconnect myself from the situation or from them. It's just that simple. And most of the time I oblige, because I'm a real one. I ain't no runner. I know how to deal with conflict, confrontation, and adversity, baby. Because when you come here, you know I'm built to persevere. Okay, complete real shit. Real situation. Some of y'all know, some of y'all don't. Some of y'all that don't, free game. Here it go. Dealing with somebody who is in fact over aggressive. I mean, like in a relationship, like over, like expressive. Like listen, only. I mean, the clapping of the hands, the stomping of the feet, the motherfucking high-pitched yelling, the I don't give a fucks, the you already know what the fuck's going on. You already know.
Come on, man.
That most of the time, these people have had some bullshit either happen to them, or they're going through some shit, or they've been through some shit. So, you let them flush that shit out. Yeah. You let them drain that radiator because you don't want the steam off of that. That's too much pressure. That's way too much pressure. The more that you get off the line, you good. Because when you twist that cap off, that pressure ain't there, you can slowly start refilling that damn thing, and then it can go right back to normal, dude.
Amen. That's shit.
Versus you sit here going back and forth with a person who wants to take this shit out because they don't want to hear nobody's opinion any damn way. They just want to say what the fuck they want to say and hurt a couple feelings and walk the fuck off like it never fucking happened. Complete fucking psychos. I've been that person before. Confession. Cat's out the bag. Meow. So, just know. Yeah, we tell the truth on this show. I don't know what these other motherfuckers doing, but I'm telling you how to fucking go here. Do you know what I mean? I ain't gonna never not say some shit and put myself. Look, man, I don't mind being real with y'all. That's what I'm doing this. You know what I'm talking about?
Isn't that kind of the
I
point?
work on communicating daily, dog, and that over aggression. I look in my relationship. I'm with people and in private. I've always been the aggressor, like far as being a person who spoke their mind, being a person who I didn't mind speaking. Just like I'm a very direct person, dog. But I know how to communicate because I'm here. I said I'm here. You know what I mean? Completely here nor there. So, when a person is in a relationship and they display this side of aggression, you do have to understand this, man. There is no way that not trying to understand a person like that is gonna help you out for the next. Look, man, you could find the person of your dreams and they come with traits from that person. So why not just try to, like, I ain't saying stick around if some shit's toxic. That's not what I'm saying.
Nope.
At all. The meek man with the big. Never said that.
Nope.
Never said that.
Nope.
What I said is, try to understand the mental state of somebody who does that. Because if somebody asks me if I'm upset, like, I can cool myself down. That's one of my gifts. I can't say that, bro. Barely. I get upset. I fly off the handle. But one thing I can say, if I know I said something to offend or hurt somebody, I can say these words. I'm sorry. And not feel no shame about it. Because again, I said what I said, but I could have used a better tone. Not take back what the fuck I said. I said what I said, cat's out the bag. Yeah. I mean, I gave it to you smooth as silk, so you gotta grab that bowl and drink that milk, understand me? That's just how I'm rocking in real time. So, if a person does speak like this, and you know what I mean, you're just like, oh man, this moment don't know how to act, oh I can't talk to you. No, G, you might just need to tap in and just ask them some real shit, like, hey, listen, like, I mean, let's start from the foundation. How was your upbringing? Like, with your parents or your family? Like, how was your interaction with them? You'll be surprised what people tell you, especially if they're under the influence. Because I know a lot of y'all only open up when y'all got y'all shit going on.
Here nor there, keep it fair. So,
for the most part, that's how I felt about that. Oh, I pretty much gave y'all the whole fucking segment based off of that because I loved it. Bounce back to the people who shut down. And Okay, I'm about back to the people who shut down, and then we gonna shut it out, man. We gonna shut it out, dog. We gonna shut it out. For the most part, somebody who can't communicate in a relationship. These are the main things I always, what I'm talking about, because I really work to understand people who can't communicate, because that's just some shit I feel like everybody should be able to do. So most of the time, most people have been through. Some people shut down based off of one solemn thing, dog. They lost somebody they love,
Shit just got real.
and it's just been something that they feel like mentally they'll never be able to replace. So nothing really matters to them when it comes to any conflict. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it's just something about getting out of character that's just like, yeah, you got it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sit here and do that while I make myself look as stupid as you, dumbass. I'm not gonna do it because you're doing it. So,
Keep it real.
I dig that. That's just off my assessment of being around people who are non-compliant with somebody who was clearly over-aggressive and speaks over-aggressive. In a relationship, I've noticed this, G's. Sometimes a man or woman before you can take something from that person. God, that thing about to get deep. They can take something from that person, and it always stays with them. So they're always gonna be on pins and needles of what they should say when they are around you. And when a problem does present itself, they go back to that moment they had with that person. It immediately shut down because they don't want to say the wrong thing and feel like they're the person who's causing the conflict. And that shit is sad to me, because it takes a fucked up person to leave somebody that torn and not try to help, at least give them closure, to let them know that, damn, it's okay, that, you know what I mean? Like, damn, it probably won't fully you. Like, look, accountability is everything, G's. Like, not taking accountability to what you say and do to people sometimes, that sticks with some people. And when it sticks with somebody, man, let me tell you, it shows through signs of communication. And I'm trying to tell you, people, that is real. That's very real. A person who has dealt with somebody in relationship form, and that person has took them through so much bullcrap and just very toxic, and put them in the mental state that if they try to communicate a certain way like a normal person, it could be taken out of context. So they just rather just let you feel how you gonna feel, because they feel like you can only get so mad because I ain't even said nothing.
Yo, that's fucked up.
So, next time you're around that type of person, and that type of person is in the room and you see it, pull that person to the side and just try to be subtle with them, dog. Be subtle with them, dog. Just see where they mind at when it comes to confrontation. Me personally, you know, I slide up on them over like,
Hey, yo, man, what's going on with you, champ? I noticed you weren't fighting back over there.
And I'm playing. Nah, I do though. I in some type of form do be like, hey, listen, champ. Cause I take it to somebody who can't stand up for themselves.
You gonna eat your cornbread.
Like I seen what happened back there, ain't it? I said, got a little crazy, didn't it? I said, you was a turtle in that shell, wasn't it?
You know, these are things that really get somebody going, you know? Anyway, listen, G. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out, man, because I talk about this all day. I love to communicate, G. I love to communicate, like, especially when it's productive. You know what I'm talking about? And if it's coming to a place of building somebody and making them understand that, you know what I mean? Like, yo, G, like, this is just, you know what I mean, to better growth. Because, look, somebody can come up to me after they see this episode and start asking me questions. And I'm telling you, listen, I'm still, look, man, to this day, I am still working on my communication skills.
Very, very important.
And I don't feel no shame about it. Because in order to be the better version of yourself, you got to understand that no matter how old you are, you're going to never obtain enough knowledge before you leave this earth. So if somebody tells me something about the way I communicate, I take heed. I try to adjust if I know it's something that's sincere and I need to apply it, because the worst thing you want to do is be in modern day society and don't know how to communicate, especially with the younger generation. I'm big on that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm real big on communicating with the younger folk. So
that's what I'm talking about.
All that old timey way of communicating, that's dead to me. These kids they don't know how to perceive that.
No, nigga.
They can't perceive that. So it's a certain way you have to talk, because these kids these days shut down. And hell, they overbearing or over-aggressive communication can lead to somebody getting shot, stabbed, and killed. Believe it. You see it on CNN, Fox, whatever else you got or you watch. So, as somebody who's moving up the ranks in age, I try to really allow myself to understand that communication is always going to be something that is essential. And without communication, there is no growth. There is no productivity. There is no chance to build with any relationship you have with anybody.
Message.
Because it's easy to accept somebody the way they are if they're not at a certain level. But it's even harder to invest patience into somebody and help them become the better version of themselves. So, with that, I leave you. Thank you, G's. This one for the second episode. This one was dope to me. I dig this one. Yeah, like I'm wholeheartedly invested in this one, dog. Like this one was special to me, man, because it's a lot of people who I know just need to hear that it's not just them, whether they're the aggressor or they're the person who can't or they shut down. It's not just, you know what I'm talking about? It's layers of y'all, man. I always tell folk, man, like it's every person is like an onion, man. We all got layers, and people who can't communicate, they just have more. So, with no further ado, thank you. I appreciate you. This is episode 2. We did that thing. It's your boy Mick Man with the big head. And I'll see you next time. You hear me? And I ain't leave y'all with my jaw last time for the first soul, did I? Let me just rewind things.
Rewind time.
Yes, now we took it. Man, it's your boy Mick Man with the big hands. Woo! You already know, man. I'll see you next time, so I'm gonna kill him with them 2 lines. Let's talk about it, and let's be mature.